Welcome back to Starting Lineup. Our UAAP basketball conversation continues with our friends Raffy, Verano, and our friend Coach Willy Wilson too. Coach, okay, the Ateneo Adamson matchup. Did it turn out the way you expected it to be? That everybody thought this was going to be a battle till the end. What happened to Adamson, and what did Ateneo do well?
Well, it started out that way. That first quarter was tight, and then the second quarter, Ateneo just turned on the Jets. And it started on the defensive end. Obviously, you have really, really good defenders on that Ateneo team. Dom Escobar is very, very good in the passing lanes. But they all did it cohesively, and they just made life very, very difficult for Adamson. It doesn't help that the usual scorers of Adamson didn't come to play. It was largely Matty Erlon throughout the entire game, consistently doing his thing, but we didn't get anything from Monty Montebon. We didn't get anything from Franzman. So, Ateneo just took advantage of that. They pounced on it. You saw a little bit of fireworks at the end. Ray Allen Torres started to heat up in that fourth quarter. Erlon was his consistent self. We didn't get any contributions from Cedric Manzano. So the inside-out presence largely wasn't there. And it's, very, very great timing. And obviously luck created by the game plan that they employed in that game for Ateneo.
Yeah, now Raffy, you mentioned to us that after that game, you'd want to see Ateneo, keep their A game, keep that cohesive play, and keep fighting their one big fight. Now, how exciting is that for you as an alumni to see them in the next following games?
Yeah, super excited.
Especially the next one.
Yeah, especially the next one. One of the biggest UAAP rivalries, I think, to date was
the biggest.
The biggest.
We were both part of that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, super exciting, and what better game than to be LaSalle, right? Yeah. So I hope they can really bring that cohesiveness that Willy said, and bring their A game, and just play the right way, because that last game was a good statement game for them, proving that they're all on the same page, trying to get that last spot.
Adamson University. Let's do a little postscript for Adamson, because they're getting used to this knockout situation, Coach Willy. They're always there at the 7-6 game mark. They're an incredibly talented, well-coached, obviously, we know that. What's your wish for Adamson to, get over this knockout hump, right? They're always involved in playoffs and knockout games, and never just sure bet as a third, second, or maybe even a first seed. It's been a while for them.
Yeah, like you said, Boom, they've proven themselves that they can be in the top contending schools in this league. And I think it's just maybe, I wouldn't say they lack experience, because like you said, they're always right there knocking on the front of the door with it making the Final Four. So, the same situation with UAAP. I want them to find their, footing and rhythm as well this offseason, and especially, Coach Nash and their coaching staff is very great, so they know what to bring.
Right.
It's just, the players got to be on the same page, and they have the potential to do that.
Yeah, especially with Ced leaving, the Ronzoni brothers were defensive gems for them. It's going to be a heck of an off-season for Adamson.
Yes, now let's move on to the UST versus NU game. It was such a nice, game for UST especially. They were able to beat #1 seed right now, which is the NU. So what do you think they did right during that game for them to get that win?
Oh, for UST, first to the third quarter, it was tight. And then, again, UST just sticking to their identity. They were, playing through their main gunners in Okoye and Nick Caballero. And then their shooters, Mark Lemet, he started heating up. Obviously, you have Emil Isido doing his thing. But I think the guy there that is very, very underrated, and a guy that I'm a huge fan of, is Jello Crisostomo. He's a guy that can do a little bit of everything, similar to Kirby Moncopa.
Right.
He can rebound, he can pass, he can facilitate. They started playing through him, and good things started happening for USC. They were able to pull away for the win.
Raffy, we'll get your thoughts in a bit. While we're talking to Coach Willy here, you have your wish list too. And the first of that wish list is about Jake Figueroa coming up big in the next games. In this UST matchup, he was kind of held back a little bit.
Right. Okay, so if we look at the numbers, played about 25 minutes on the night, 1 for 6 shooting. It was his final elimination game. As a senior, those are very, very important. You always want to go out on with a win. Obviously, it's not his last game, and he will have games or at least one more game to play, possibly 2 or 3, hopefully, for them. But he's a front runner for the MVP, and to go out of the elimination round with a 1-for-6 performance, I think that we were the fans expecting a lot more.
Raffy, let's ask you about Coach Pido and his experience. What will it do for him and likes of Akowe and now Nick Cabañeros on his last year for this moving forward to UST, which seemingly will face UP in the Final Four? Might be.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to Coach Pido and the coaching staff over there. They're bringing their experiences that they've been through to this team, and I think the only player on USC that has this finals or championship experience is Fortsky Padrigal.
Oh, you're right. When he was with Ateneo.
Yeah, correct. This is fairly new for UST.
Yes.
Or this bunch of guys, and I think the experience that Fortsky and the coaching staff can bring can really lift them up, because defensively that NU game they looked very well. Jake was having his A game, and I think UST did a great job disrupting that.
And shooting was so good for UST.
Yes.
Coach Julio Soler pa pala. Champion coaches,
Yep.
right?
Yes,
Champion coaches
yes.
that you're talking about. All right. Raffy and Willy, thank you very much for coming by. We'll see you in the games.
Yes.
For sure, we'll see you Wednesday for sure.
Yeah.
Wednesday for sure.
Okay, again, thank you guys, and thank you for joining us.